For this lecture, we're going to cover sustainability and how it connects to the way cities are designed, built, and managed. We're going to talk about urban infrastructure, which is the systems we rely on every day, including transportation, water, energy, housing, waste. And of course, sustainability, as we previously discussed, asks how we meet current needs without making life harder for future generations. We'll start with the principles of sustainability, which gives us the foundation for the entire discussion. Then we'll move on to green design and smart growth, which are ways sustainability is applied in real spaces, especially cities. Finally, we'll connect these ideas to sustainable development goals. These goals provide global framework that links local actions like city planning and infrastructure upgrades to broader international efforts to improve environmental quality, economic stability, and social well-being worldwide. Sustainability is often defined as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This definition uses long-term thinking as the foundation. Instead of solving problems only for today, sustainability asks us to think decades ahead and consider how decisions ripple through environmental systems, economies, and the community. Sustainability is built on three connected pillars: environmental protection, economic stability, and social equity. These are not independent. For example, when we protect ecosystems, we support economic activities like tourism and fisheries, while social equity ensures that the environmental benefits and risks are not unfairly distributed. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals were adopted in 2015 to guide global action through the year 2030. Each country or region assesses the goals in their area to create an a la carte plan, such as the options listed here. For example, Goal 6 is clean water and sanitation. If there's a lot of wastewater running off, that region might decide to invest in water treatment plants. Goal 7 is affordable and clean energy. That region might decide to target certain areas for wind or solar. Goal 13 is climate action. If there's a large number of vehicles in an area, that place might decide they're going to invest more in public transportation, such as rail or green buses, in order to reduce the number of vehicles that are emitting carbon on the road. And Goal 11 is sustainable cities and communities. This can include adopting walkable cities or creating more green spaces within the city to absorb more carbon. And here we can see all 17 of the goals arranged in a grid. Now remember, these don't just stand on their own. Each country assesses its own individual profile and selects those options that are highest priority to them. Green design and smart growth are two approaches to reducing environmental impacts in cities. Green design focuses on building an infrastructure that uses less energy and fewer resources over its lifetime. For example, features like energy efficient materials and green roofs reduce heat buildup and lower energy demands. Smart growth focuses on how cities expand. Instead of spreading outward into farmland and natural areas, smart growth encourages denser, walkable neighborhoods. This reduces the need for long commutes, it lowers transportation emissions, and helps preserve open spaces. Let's look at some of the key sustainability programs operating across Tampa Bay. While each program has a specific role, what's important is how they collectively address regional environmental challenges, and that no single city or county can manage everything alone. We'll start with the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council. This organization works across county boundaries to coordinate climate adaptations, hazard mitigation, and infrastructure resilience. In a region like Tampa Bay, risk such as flooding, hurricanes, and sea level rise affect transportation systems, housing, and utilities across multiple jurisdictions. The Planning Council helps local governments align long-term plans so that infrastructure investments, evacuation plans, and development decisions are consistent across the region rather than fragmented. This coordination reduces inefficiencies and helps communities prepare for shared risks instead of reacting individually after a disaster. Next is the Tampa Bay Estuary Program. This program operates under the Environmental Protection Agency Comprehensive Conservation and Management Plan. Its primary focus is restoring and protecting water quality and ecosystems within Tampa Bay. This includes efforts to reduce nutrient pollution from stormwater runoff, improve water clarity, and restore critical habitats such as seagrass beds. These actions support biodiversity, but they also protect economic activities tied to clean water, such as tourism, recreation, and fisheries. Then there's the Regional Resiliency Coalition, which brings cities and counties together to commit to climate-smart policies. Rather than each local government independently deciding how to address climate risks, this coalition encourages shared strategies and collaboration. This is particularly important for challenges like sea level rise and extreme weather. By collaborating, communities can share data, best practices, and funding strategies that make resiliency planning more effective and less costly over time. Now we'll look specifically at Pinellas County. What's important here is that Pinellas County uses multiple connected planning tools rather than relying on a single program. We'll start with the Resilient Pinellas Action Plan. This was adopted in 2023 and outlines dozens of initiatives organized around resilience, which refers to the county's ability to prepare for, respond to, and recover from environmental and social stressors. Resilience in Pinellas is especially important because the county is densely populated and highly vulnerable to flood, sea level rise, and extreme weather. Rather than focusing only on emergency response, this plan looks at proactive measures that reduce risk before the disasters occur, such as strengthening infrastructure and improving land planning use. Next is the Pinellas County Strategic Plan for 2025 to 2030, which takes a long-term view. This isn't an environmental plan, but it integrates sustainability directly into the county governance by addressing land use, environmental protection, green infrastructure, and disaster preparedness altogether. Environmental protection is not treated as a separate issue in this plan, but rather something that influences economic development, public safety, and community well-being. By embedding this sustainability into the strategic plan, the county ensures that future decisions align with long-term environmental and resiliency goals. Then we have Plan Pinellas, which is an interactive, public-facing land use and planning tool. This allows residents and planners to visualize how land is used and how future development may affect the county. Plan Pinellas supports projects such as shoreline restorations, expanding tree canopy, and upgrading stormwater systems. And these actions actually serve multiple purposes at once. For example, expanding tree canopy can help reduce urban heat, improve air quality, and enhance neighborhood livability, while stormwater upgrades reduce flooding and protect water quality. Hillsborough County also approaches sustainability through a combination of planning, education, and community-level actions. What stands out here is the strong emphasis on connecting environmental goals to public health, economic vitality, and equity. We'll start with the Community Sustainability Action Plan. Its goals focus on improving resource efficiency, supporting economic vitality, and protecting public health. Rather than treating sustainability as a separate environmental issue, this plan integrates it into everyday systems. The idea is that reducing waste, conserving resources, and improving efficiency can lower cost for residents while also improving their quality of life. Then we have the Green Hillsborough Initiative, which focuses heavily on education and outreach. This initiative recognizes that sustainability is not just driven by policy, but by individuals and community behaviors. Through education on water conservation, local food systems, and community gardens, Green Hillsborough encourages residents to participate directly in sustainability efforts. These programs help people understand how their everyday choices, like water use or food sourcing, connect to those larger environmental and economic outcomes. There's also many state-supported efforts, specifically those led by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Here we have two initiatives that show how sustainability can be encouraged through voluntary participation, education, and incentives, rather than regulation alone. These include the Green Lodging and Green School program. They're designed to help facilities reduce their environmental impact while also educating the people who use them. Communication and education are central here because the goal isn't just to change infrastructure, but to influence behavior. By engaging their customers, employees, students, and the general public, these programs help build awareness on how everyday life affects environmental outcomes. Currently, there are 312 green lodges and 33 green schools throughout the state.